For this week's edition of me picking another game to review besides the Packer game, we are doing, of course, Buffalo versus San Francisco in snowy Buffalo. There is expected to be a large amount of lake effect snow, which we've seen over the past couple of years does not affect the Bills in the slightest. It may move them to another place, but this team plays well in the snow. They really do, especially Josh Allen. For all those people that expect quarterbacks to look worse in the snow, Josh Allen seems to up his game. He's looked very good the past couple times it's been in the snow. And they're playing against the 49ers, who are 5 and 6 and desperately losing ground in the playoff race. If they lose this week, they'll be 5 and 7. And they'll be hard pressed to find another way into the playoffs. But we know everything down below, and we'll go over the game like we do every week. Josh Allen has been good all year long. Sure, he's gone kind of back to his old ways with like 4 straight games with the interception, but he still only has 5, and he still has a lot more touchdowns. He's been great. It hasn't been as good as rushing touchdowns this year, but he still was able to get out about and had his MVP moment a couple weeks ago against Kansas City. And yes, for all those that deny Allen is a legitimate MVP candidate, look at his team. They're 9-2. He's been the most valuable player for his team. I know everybody wants to give it to Lamar, but Lamar Jackson has one more loss. He also has looked bad in certain games as well. He still, by all accounts, has way better stats than Josh Allen. But look at last year. Josh Allen had way better stats than Lamar Jackson, and the voters just said, "Oh, the stats don't count. They don't count. It's about his leadership." Well, look what Lamar Jackson did in the playoffs last year. Do you think he led his team? No, he failed. Like a lot of people expect him to do every year, the Baltimore Ravens are just jokers. But the Bills are playing at an all-time level, and they're getting healthier by the day. They're looking to potentially get back Dwayne Carter back as a defensive tackle in the next couple weeks. Matt Milano could very well play in this game, and he looks to be better than ever. Who would have thought when Matt Milano went out earlier in the year that the Bills will be 9-2, basically a win and a Miami Dolphins loss away from clinching the division in the first day of December? Nobody would have thought that. I certainly wouldn't have, but here they are. They've been great. And Josh Allen has been a big piece of it. Along with that, combined with their running the ball, James Cook hasn't had the best year, but he's still been very efficient. He's still one of the most underrated running backs in the league, and he's a total bell cow. He can do it all. He can catch in the backfield. He can run for power. He can run for speed. He can run around the edge. He can do it all. He's a great running back, and he deserves more respect. Their offensive line has been great, and they could be getting Spencer Brown back soon as well, who would help immensely on the left side. I believe it's the left side. Keon Coleman could be back, still dealing with that wrist injury, but he's not practicing, so chances are he probably doesn't play this week. Probably keep him back for till next week. Amari Cooper, he's been out with a wrist injury as well, but all signs point to him probably being able to play this week. Bills are getting healthy at the right time, and they're already doing well. Sure, they still need the Chiefs to lose one more game this year to have a real shot at the number 1 spot in the AFC and have the playoffs go through Buffalo. But man, they could have a chance. This could be their year. And then their defense has been so good. Other than those 2 games against Houston where they got boat raced in the first half, really tightened up in the second half, and Baltimore where, I mean, that game was over when Derrick Henry had that big run. I mean, it just broke their soul. It broke their back, and they never really could get back to it. But over the past couple of weeks, the Ravens have not looked great. Their offense has been still mainly through the run. They've done very well, but Lamar Jackson has taken a couple early on, just takes a little bit to get going, but they still win the game. But again, if you were to pick a game between the Bills and the Ravens right now, if they were to play right now, I'd still pick the Bills. I still think they're just a little bit better right now, simply because the defense of the Ravens is far worse than the one of the Bills. Bills have been great. Their kicking has been good as well. Haven't missed a lot of field goals this year, which is good. And man, like I said earlier, they play well in the snow. They just do. They've really played well in the snow, especially Josh Allen. Josh Allen has raised his level of play, and they're going up against San Francisco, who by all accounts has had a really bad year. Yes, they've been injured, but come on. Again, like last week, even if Purdy had played, the Packers still won that game. Even if Bosa had played, it might have a bigger impact on Jordan Love. Packers still win. Packers still win even if they have those two players last week. Now let's talk about Brock Purdy. He's still not practicing. So, and Wednesday, if he's still not practicing, it's probably not a good sign. They're probably going with Brandon L again, who, again, has only started like 8 games in 7 years, something like that. And he didn't look particularly good last week. Now, at times, he looked okay. It looked like they were starting to make a comeback. But again, then he started throwing interceptions, and then it was kind of denied after that. Plus, he's playing with a broken finger in the potential snowstorm. Yikes, that could be huge as well. Christian McCaffrey, like I said in my Packer video a couple days ago, has not looked the same. He still, yes, has the ability to break a big run, but on the other hand, he just isn't able to cut like he has. It still seems that Achilles tendonitis is still bothering him because it just seems like it's one of the injuries that's going to take like a full off season to truly recover. And with the way the 49ers right now, they can't afford him to be out. I mean, Jordan Mason has done good in relief of Christian McCaffrey, but that was mainly the first couple weeks of the season. But then people started to catch up onto him, and then he started to really not do as well. Receiving wise, George Kittle still have to worry about him on a week to week basis. He's still the most, honestly, he's like the most viable weapon in the league on the field when the 49ers are out there because he can play, he can block, and he's really good at catching tough contested balls. He's really good at that. Deebo Samuel needs to be better. I mean, he has that C on his shoulder, but he didn't look very captain-like last week when he denied to answer questions at the end of the game. There's controversy, people saying that he should have the captaincy taken from him. I don't know if we need to go there yet, but Deebo needs to be better. He needs to raise his level of play because he has not been the same this year. He's just not been good, and he needs to lead by example, which he just has not done. Trent Williams is still not practicing, so again, the chances of him playing are probably not very good, but when he's out there, he's a warrior. He'll be just fine, but it's just a matter of him getting out there. Lucky for the 49ers, Dre Greenlaw's practice window is opening up, so he'll have 3 weeks to activate him. Now, they could very well be out of the playoff race within the next 2 weeks. I mean, not really. They'd still be 5-8 with a theoretically, if they go on a winning streak, they could make it in. But I just don't like the 49ers' chance to win. I mean, Dre Greenlaw would be a tremendous help, but frankly, I think it's best for him to just practice and just be ready for next year because he's just too important for that defense. But Dre Greenlaw, he's an absolute warrior, and he's going to do whatever he can to get back on the field. So, I mean, if you think he's ready to go, he's going to be ready to go out there. It's just who knows how much impact he will have on this team. It definitely can't be much worse than what the team has played. Charvarius Ward, again, has been mourning the loss of his daughter, which is terrible. A terrible tragedy for the 49ers' sake. Hopefully he is able to go. But, I mean, the 49ers just haven't been great. I mean, at times, they've been able to run the ball really well. When Purdy's out there, they're able to throw a good couple of touchdowns. But, again, he kind of has an interception issue like Jordan Love. I know nobody wants to talk about it, but Brock Purdy does throw a lot of interceptions at times as well. But going into this game, it looks like it's going to be all Bills. I don't think they're going to absolutely destroy the 49ers just because the 49ers are a well-kept organization and they have a lot of pride. But, man, I don't have a lot of hope for 49ers this week. In the snow, I mean, I do expect this game to still be played. I always say hope so. But it's just the Bills are seemingly a different team. They're unaffected by the snow. They play well. That fan base is one of the best in the league. I take the Bills Mafia over 49ers fans any day, for sure. But, I mean, the 49ers are going to keep it close for the most part, but I think Buffalo's going to pull away. In the end, Buffalo wins 31-20. Yeah, I know. I basically picked like the same score as a couple of weeks ago when they played the Chiefs, but I just it's gonna be close. But I just think the Bills raise their level of play in the snow. The fan base is wilder than ever. They're just a great fan base, and they deserve something good. They really do. If there is a fan base that deserves the Super Bowl win, it is the Bills Mafia more than anybody else. There's hardly a more dedicated fan base in the NFL other than the Packers fans, of course. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Well, Bills win. Bills go to 10-2, and very well could wrap up the AFC East this week. But let me know what you think down in the comments. Well, have a great day, and as always, God bless and go back go.